What's going on, guys? Mitch here, and today we're taking a look at a new SRAM Red cassette for the upcoming build. I just wanted to do a quick unboxing, show it, obviously. This is the cassette spec of the E1. So AM/CS XD 1290 E1 1028 tooth. So it's quite a corn cob rainbow cassette, so pretty cool. So let's crack this guy open. I will obviously do a video on how to install it down the line here, and whoa, lots of little packaging. So there we go. That's all that really comes in the box. SRAM manual. I don't know who's reading this, but if you wanted to scan the QR code, by all means, have at her. But this is kind of what we're here for. There is your gorgeous SRAM Red E1 cassette. A little bit different than the D1, and I think I might have one. You know what, I do have one right here actually. Why don't I show a D1 to compare it side by side. It's just a coincidence that I have it here. But let's get that off to the side, and then we'll do a comparison of the D1 as well. All right, there we go. Total coincidence, but there's a comparison. That's pretty sweet, eh? Nice little stack up of the two. So I don't know what we're really looking for here, but the main thing that I'd probably be looking at is kind of the machining on the cogs of the D1 and how it compares with the E1. Quite a bit more. This feels lighter. We'll weigh them. I've got a gram scale as well, but quite a bit different. Obviously the colors, whatever, that's just an anodizing. Can wear off. This is obviously a pretty good angle too to see the difference. A lot of the times you can get some tells. So, whoa, look at that, right away in the gearing. So on the milling work, on the back of the cassette, you can see the gaps are a lot smaller with more material taken out. So I imagine that is worth something. But anyway, we're not going to go too much in comparison because I started the video, didn't even really realize that I had access to this one. It was just on my shelf beside me for a separate reason. But there you go, E1 versus D1. That's hilarious. Good looking cassettes. These are both 1028s. I'm going to quickly weigh them and then provide an update there just in case people do have they will ask that question in the comments if this is a year from now. So here is the E1 version. And let's zero that off and go to grams. 181. And let's just zero it one more time. 181 versus 181. Great. Literal 183. There you go. 2 grams. 1 to 2 grams difference. There you go. So next to nothing between the two. They do say there's some difference in, I guess, smoothness in some of these. The shifting, the what's the word I'm looking for? The noise as well. So I'm assuming it has to do with these plastic bands in the middle. But from everything I'm looking at here, I can't really tell a difference, especially with the weight. But obviously there is a big difference in the actual milling of the cassette on that big cog, which is fine. But anyway, let's put this other guy away and kind of talk about this. So with the XD stuff, remember that lock ring is built into this. The main advantage of an XDR cassette tends to be the fact that you can get a smaller cog on your cassette. So this guy is, I believe, a 10 tooth versus most Shimano's are going to be like 11 or 12. So just keep that in mind. Some will even go down. I think there's some that even go down to 9 tooth on like E13 cassettes in the mountain bike world. Anyway, keep that in mind. And what that does is it allows you. That's your heavy gear. That's your hard, working. Hard working gear where you really got to be pushing it to use it. So in theory, you can run a smaller set of chain rings up front and get that same bottom end. Or in my case. I like to I use the SRAM app in conjunction with my head unit, and I record everything through the SRAM Axis app. And I actually have figured out that I like a certain jump in my gears, and that's why I've gone with a 1028 versus a 1030 versus a 1033. There's an optimal zone right in the middle here where there's 2 additional gears that I actually use and spend a lot of time in, and that's why I went with the 1028, and then I fine-tuned my front chainring kind of around that. And for me, the 28 tooth would be on a 33 tooth top cassette. That'd be your second gear, would be this. And that's the gear I use the least amount of time, is the 28th, but it is being used. So therefore, in a 48-35 traditional setup on the front chainrings, I've now moved my second gear on a 1033 cassette to be my first gear, and then that opens up the smoother shifting between gears in more of the middle area. And they're all 1-tooth jumps, typically, as you can kind of see down that profile there. Really, really nice. My favorite cassette by far. And the fact that it's rainbow, pretty slick. Got this from the bike shop in Calgary. Really grateful for them to be helping me out. You can see as well, 1022, 1028 on the top. I don't know if I really like the black background, but I guess when you are running waxed and dirty chains, black does kind of hide the coloring a little bit better than raw tire aluminum or steel in a lot of cases on a lot of the cassettes. So this is pretty cool. I've got no issues with it. The rainbow adds a nice flare, especially in conjunction with the rainbow colored chain, which is what's going to be going on this drivetrain. And then the built-in lock ring and XD driver, you know, no issues there. Pretty cool. Definite, real nice cassette by any stretch. So figured I'd unbox it, show you what's coming up on the bike. Figured I'd show you the D1 versus E1 as well. Kind of unexpectedly, but at least, you know, there's some people that want to see the difference. To me, there's not a whole lot, but that is a 28 tooth as well. So that's pretty cool. What do you guys think? What one looks better, the rainbow or just raw dog? I know you're a raw dogger, aren't you? You son of a gun. I'm just kidding. Settle down. Okay, well there you go. That is the SRAM Red E1 cassette on the right, D1 on the left. And if you have any questions, leave them below. All right, guys. Thanks for checking it out, and more to come soon on the new bike. Peace.